We're joined now by the DA's spokesperson, who is also the party's Health Shadow Minister for Health, Mr. Siviwe Gwarube. A very good afternoon to you, Ms. Gwarube. You, as the Democratic Alliance, had put in a PAIA request for the release of the SIU report, and that deadline was yesterday. Was it then a surprise for you that, lo and behold, the report is released today?
Good afternoon, Tammy, and good afternoon to your viewers. No, it wasn't. I mean, this has been a 4-month-long battle to try and obtain the SIU report, and we've been trying to get the president to make it public, because you will remember that he had committed to the people of South Africa that the investigation by the SIU would be expedited. He had said that the SIU would hand over the report as soon as possible, and in fact they did on the 30th of June, and then the president sat on the report for the last 4 months. We had to wait for an extension that the presidency had requested, and so yesterday, when this morning the report dropped, it wasn't much of a surprise. But what was surprising is how the president would have, having had sight of the report much earlier on, would have essentially thanked the former health minister, and as though he was somebody who was stepping down out of honor, when in fact there are such damning allegations against him, and the president knew.
So what then is the way forward for you? The information is out. Dr. Pillay is the one who has been recommended to step down, and we're not seeing the former health minister, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, in those recommendations.
Tammy, I mean, I think the SIU has done an excellent job in compiling the report and in the investigation, and they've done and executed what is legally required of them. The reality is that now there are a number of things that must happen from this. It wasn't just the publication of this report is but one step. The steps that follow now are going to be a real test of our state institutions. It is now absolutely critical that the people that I call the digital vibes for, who's Dr. Zweli Mkhize, Dr. Anban Pillay, the current DG, Dr. Sandile Buthelezi, and Mr. Ian van der Merwe, all need to be recommended and handed over to the NPA for a criminal investigation. The thing is, Tammy, we need to stop in this country finding political solutions to criminal problems. The reality is that a crime has been committed, and the fact that the minister has stepped down does not absolve him from being held accountable. And that's why now the NPA needs to step in swiftly, investigate him, and he needs to then, whoever is found to be guilty needs to be sent to jail.
Are there any surprises for yourself as the DA as you've gone through the report? Perhaps things that you may not have expected that did come out?
Look, I mean, you will recall about a month ago, the SIU submitted a founding affidavit to the Special Tribunal. And in that founding affidavit already, there were massive damning allegations against various people. And of course, you know, they have, in accordance to how much they can find, have really tried to name as many people as they can and stipulate. But what is shocking for me, I think, more than what is in the report, Tammy, is how we can have South Africa going through the deadliest pandemic, global pandemic, and we have at the helm of the health response in this country, the minister and his senior management accused of such grave grand theft. It is absolutely shocking to me that there seems to have been absolutely no moral fiber anymore, and laws like the PFMA and the Prevention of Corruption Act all seem to be mere suggestions in South Africa. And so each and every commitment that the president has made until now about fighting corruption rings hollow. Unless somebody, a politician, goes to jail, then it means that this government is not serious about combating corruption.
How do we ensure that Cabinet does actually maintain oversight, and that resolutions and memorandums that are compiled are actually being adhered to, not only in this particular situation, but moving forward as well?
Look, I mean, there are a number, again, I mean, I think that our institutions in South Africa are such that they are quite strong. However, even though over the past couple of decades they have been eroded over and over in a way of protecting those who are politically connected, ultimately we've got functioning institutions. As I've said, the SIU has done a sterling job of compiling this report. Now the NPA needs to take it over and pursue criminal prosecutions. Parliament as an institution now needs to summon the current sitting minister and needs to go through the report with the SIU to then say to Dr. Pasha, who is the current minister, what are you doing to hold these people who have been accused of these things in this report to account? The reality is that two of the people who are in that report, in that SIU report, are currently within the department right now. Dr. Anban Pillay and Ian van der Merwe are currently in the department. And Dr. Sandile Buthelezi has been suspended. And so these are the things that we need to do, and including the role of Parliament, which must never be underestimated in holding the executive to account. Because the laws are there. It's about the political will to do what is right. The PFMA makes it very clear that Minister Mkhize, the former minister, had no business telling the department who to award a contract to. And so it's about now making sure that people who break the law end up in jail, because we must not try now and find a political solution to this. People who break the law must face the full might of the law. And you'll remember, I mean, there's billions of rands that have been siphoned over the last 18 months. And so in order for us to really see that there is a commitment to fight corruption, we have to see some key figures behind bars.
Ms. Siviwe Gwarube, thank you very much for your time and your insight there. She is the spokesperson for the DA as well as a Shadow Minister for Health.